Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this here, anybody that sticks up for this dude because of his color, didn't you just think for 1 minute with your brain instead of sticking up for him because of racial political reasons? Why would you want to stick up for somebody like that? I mean, after all, they're just as capable of going off on you and stabbing you for whatever reason. If they did that to somebody else, why the fuck would you want to stick up for them? Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. No, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon here making a video about this, but after a while you get tired of seeing it and tired of hearing about it, so you're going to talk about it. Okay, that stabbing, the Karmelo Anthony and the whatever, and yeah, they're defending him, calling it self-defense or whatever the hell, but okay, I'm going to tell you how it is. I don't care if it's black on white, white on black, black on black, or even somebody that looks like me against somebody that looks like me, okay? If somebody tells you to move in a public place and maybe you think they're being an asshole about it or whatever, yeah, I've seen different takes on it, you know, the black people calling racism and then white leftists calling it this and that, and every scenario, the black YouTubers disagree. But like I said, like I just said, I don't care who it's against. Maybe a person, if you're not welcome there and you're told to leave, right? And, well, say if it was me over there and somebody wanted to make me move or whatever the hell, they're not supposed to get physical, but I'd be like, well, excuse me, shit. But I'm a kind of person, I don't know if anybody black out there is like this too, whether it's black on black or white on white, somebody like me. Better off just don't even go where you're not welcome. It'd be like, well, excuse me. That's the better reaction to it. And as far as I'm concerned, this dude went somewhere armed where he wasn't supposed to be, carrying a weapon illegally. He wasn't even supposed to be there with a weapon. And the bottom line is, if you're in that position and somebody tells you to move, right, and they want to get physical and maybe you don't want, and speaking for myself, I'd be like, well, excuse me, shit, I just move, really. But I couldn't see myself personally wanting to refuse to move and start all that shit. And I couldn't see myself, hey, I believe in the right to bear arms, whatever, in the right way. Even with, okay, this is a subject matter for another video, but whether a bladed instrument or a gun, okay, the right to bear arms. I don't even believe if you are legally armed with a pistol, all right, concealed carry permit, does that give you the right, say, to carry it somewhere? Maybe you're not supposed to be somewhere, and maybe somebody does rudely ask you to move in. Do you have the right to refuse to move and then use a deadly weapon on somebody, deadly force? Well, in this case, if it was you and me, and I say you don't want to move, and say the person, okay, you're not security, who the fuck are you? You wanted to say, okay, who the fuck are you? You're not security or whatever. And the dude that got killed, he would have been better off just going to, okay, I'm going to tell whoever. Definitely not siding with the person who did the stabbing. Because quite frankly, do you have the right, say, to refuse to move and then pull out a weapon and inflict a death stroke? No. That's not self-defense. It's not your life. That's not your life being in danger. When you want to go with your ego, right? Carrying a knife or a gun in a place where you're not allowed to carry one. I mean, this isn't just schools. This could be subject matter for other videos, right, to bear arms. Because the way I'm thinking, say, okay, not just schools, you're not allowed to carry a gun or a knife in a public sports stadium either, like a baseball stadium. Like I look at my Pittsburgh TV news, you're allowed to carry you don't carry no weapons in those places, do you? And, oh, you're in my seat. Well, people do that shit in bars, too. You go into some strange bar, right? And people could fuck with you if you're a stranger, right? And maybe there's some tough guys in there, black or white. And you're a person never been to this bar in your life. Really, you should have these basic instincts. There are bars like that. That's both. There are mostly black people, mostly white people. There are mostly this or that. You can go to a bar and be a first person in there. Those places are usually known around the town. Okay, some of you guys probably get that idea. Oh, you're in my seat, and then you can say, "Fuck you." Who are you? You can do that, but it's better just to move or just fucking leave the place, because you're gonna push it, and then you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. They're gonna give you a beating or assault you, or they're gonna pull out a knife, stab you. They're gonna get their buddies, or if they don't do anything right there and say you call their bluff and say they wait for you when you're ready to leave and shit, and you get shot. That shit's on the news all the damn time. See, I'm just expanding this subject to not be in school, the way people are. And, well, people shouldn't be acting like that tough guy bar trash, whether it's black or white ghetto type shit. That shouldn't even be going on in a fucking school anywhere. The reason why I brought that shit up with bars, because they fucking do that same shit. Oh, you're in my seat, or you go okay, maybe you do. There is I don't want to call it an ignorance and all that. I'm putting myself in that position, and myself too. You should have you shouldn't be paranoid. You shouldn't. To a certain degree, you can tell somebody, "Oh, who the fuck are you?" But is it worth that bullshit? Like, say I knowingly go somewhere, maybe I'll be welcome there. Say it's raining or something. Maybe they won't do anything, right? Maybe I might just get a stink eye or dirty looks or whatever the hell, or people talk under their breath. What the hell is he being there? But me personally, if I can see the looks that I'm not fucking welcome somewhere, or if I got better things to do, that's what this dude did that stabbed the damn kid. I guess I wasn't there. I guess the kid got physical, which he really shouldn't have did that. He should have just went and told somebody. Not saying anything bad about the dude that died, but again, if that was me in his position, I'd be saying, hey, there's something about this guy. Maybe he's looking to go off on somebody because they carry weapons in schools. You see what I mean? It's the same way like you're in a bar or out in some place. Yeah, and you guys know what kind of places they are. That posturing, you know what I'm saying? Or like, it's the same category of shit. Like if somebody goes by in a car and says something, you could flip them off, or they're on foot, you can flip them off, or somebody in a group, maybe you can flip them off or say something back to them, and maybe nothing will happen. But then again, the way the world is, depending on where you live, the person can be just occupying the place. Should you approach them and try to get physical and move them? No. Because the very fact that they're doing that, they're occupying that place, that's what I'm saying, this dude, it's not because he's black, but yes, both black people do this shit. People that look like me do this shit, that maybe have a little bit more tattoos. Not that I'm saying any prejudice against anybody with tattoos, but somebody that looks like me that can probably, it may look like they might shoot me, or maybe they're capable of kicking my ass. Am I going to take it in my own hands and say, oh, you need to move or whatever? He's going to say, well, make me. You see what I mean? The person that does that shit, they're setting it up because they probably have a weapon, or they might have their buddies somewhere covertly or something. You know what I mean? They're looking for trouble. That's why you talking about the person that got killed. If you were him, you should be saying to yourself, okay, if I was that dude, maybe I shouldn't approach him that way, because maybe that's what he wants, and the dude really wasn't pre-thinking the thing, and he got killed. I mean, there's a lesson learned here. I'm not laughing about it. It's not funny. And matter of fact, I'm saying the dude that did the stabbing was wrong. If I have to be repetitive about it, he went there looking for trouble. He deliberately was occupying the fucking space, right? And he was looking to go off on somebody and do that shit. And the court is actually, if the court is sane and a jury is actually sane, they would see that, and the dude's going to do some time for it, and he should. And it's not about it. Yeah, as I'm looking at his YouTube videos, different the black YouTubers I look at, that I always talk about, that I look at and spread out of spite, because ain't gonna tell nobody fucking tell me how to not be racist. But I'll say once again, like I said in the beginning, the shit happens like black on black all the time too in places. Black on black, white on white, people that look like me against people that look like me, doesn't fucking matter. Anybody that sits there and occupies a space that maybe that shouldn't be there, give them dirty looks if you want to, but it's not a good idea to approach them in that day and age like you're going to physically do anything, because they're looking to go off on you. People say in videos I'm repetitive, but I can be repetitive until I'm blue in the face. People just see what they want to see and say what they want to see, hear what they want to hear, or whatever their buddies, racially or politically, whatever the fuck they want to believe. And like, if you're black and say that person going to jail for something, maybe the fucker doesn't like you anyway because of your political views. Why fucking stick up for him? If it was somebody like me, somebody that looked like me that stabbed somebody, why the fuck would I go online and fucking side with him and say the dude was black, or it was against another dude that looked like me? Maybe the fucker don't like me anyway. Okay, haven't you considered the fact that, okay, if you're black and you're going to stick up for a dude that stabbed somebody, well, what if he was unwelcome where you're at? Are you going to approach him? He might fucking stab you. Haven't you ever fucking thought of that? You're stick up for him because he's black? That's just as ridiculous as somebody that looks like me, right? Sticking up for another person that looks like me, that went and occupied a space and was asked to move and stabbed somebody. Why the fuck would I stick up for him? Seems to me the fucker would be just as capable of looking for a reason to go after me and go off on me and stab me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck that dude. Not because he's black, because it can be of any color or any look. I don't care. It's bullshit that the damn dude should actually go to jail. Plain and simple. Alright, here's another thing that I should say while it's on my mind about people thinking they have the right to stab somebody. Yeah, remember that dude that YouTubers were featuring on their channels about that white dude with glasses, baby-faced white dude, I think shoulder-length hair with some kind of earrings. I have to look. I'll get you the video probably and throw it in here, I guess. I don't know.
Not to be like overly dramatic or anything, can we just start stabbing transphobes at this point? Like, we have such a big problem of transphobic people being fucking idiots and not getting their shit kicked in. Can we just start kicking their shit for everyone? The entire world would be so much better if we could just stab a transphobe. Say something transphobic, you get stabbed. The world would be beautiful.
Yeah, he goes, oh, anybody that misgenders somebody should get stabbed. With his arrogant ass mouth on TikTok, because he thinks it's out of the jurisdiction or whatever. Yeah, really, get real. Do you really have the right to go after somebody with a knife and attempt a death stroke? Seems like that dude looks like that he'd probably get something unfortunate happen to him, and if he tried that. It's another thing too. Yeah, you run into the wrong person and attack him with a knife, you know. But another thing too, a word of wisdom here. Say I'm stupid enough to do that, and I'm not sticking up for the I says I don't give a fuck about them. But am I gonna go out of nowhere and say like they're minding their own business? Really, if they say something to me first, you know, get the middle finger, you know, well, fuck you, that's all. But am I gonna go and, okay, in an imaginary situation, misgender somebody on purpose and start heckling them, and they do come after me with a knife? Yeah, it's self-defense in a way, right? And say, and I go to them and say, okay, yeah, you better be damn fast with that blade, because if I get cut, it's going to turn out really bad for you. Well, say such a thing happens. Say I go and antagonize the transgender person on purpose because he's spreading around that he's going to go and try to stab somebody, and say I get my way, I get cut a little bit, and he either goes to the hospital or his death happens. I mean, yeah, he did attack me, right? And I'll try to say it's self-defense, right? But if there's witnesses, right, and then there's and the court determines that I was antagonizing them, right? Then and say I was looking to do the person damage. If it is known that I'm like going out of my way to antagonize them, like I said, my rule is I don't got time in my personal life. I'm not taking any of my time in my personal life to persecute you, but I refuse to take to meet any demands of anybody, myself or anybody taking any of my personal life to coddle you either. But am I going to go antagonize somebody looking for them to stab me so that I can that's not self-defense. The court will say I was looking for trouble, and maybe the dude has no right to self-defense either, coming after me with a knife because I was antagonizing him and misgendering him. But keep in your head, I'll cut some other kind of scenarios there where maybe the transgender dude was heckling because he's hoping that you'll get mad and misgender him. That's what they want too. Don't do that. But you see what I mean? I might as well throw that in there too. I mean, I think them goofballs on TikTok going around saying that they should have the right to stab somebody, or egging on other transgenders to go ahead and stab somebody for misgendering them. Is that self-defense? Going after somebody with a knife because somebody heckled them by transgendering them? No. But if the person who did the heckling and misgendering them or whatever, and just knowing that the person will come after with a knife, and he goes, is it really self-defense when you antagonize them? I mean, because after all, like, you're going to have to answer to that in court. And the court doesn't classify self-defense as that you heckled somebody and they come after you with a knife and say you win the fight and cause their serious injury or death. They're not going to say, no, okay, that's self-defense. You're going to have to answer to that. As much as I can't fucking stand those people, no, you don't do that shit either. Makes you look bad, and it's not going to make you look good in the court. You see what I mean? Alright, here's one more opinion in this, and this is just opinion, my personal opinion. You got to watch states that have the stand your ground thing, and I got mixed feelings about stand your ground. It's not good for any scenario, and quite frankly, there are people that like to antagonize people and use stand your ground to their advantage. In my opinion, somebody you don't know starts some shit and yells some shit. Maybe you can flip them off and turn your back. It's about it. But me personally, I would be kind of watching myself with people, like if I was in a stand your ground state, because there are people out there that are assholes that like to say shit and antagonize. Well, there are cameras on poles all kind of places in cities too. There was one story out there where a guy didn't get away with that, but people do that. Some stranger starts some shit, you're better off walking away with a cocky look on your face and saying, you know what, fuck you, you're gonna have the last word anyway, and walk away. Because there are people that think stand your ground means that they can antagonize anyone they feel like it, and say you just keep talking back to them. You're not gonna throw any punches or any kind of thing like that. There are lunatics out there that walk around in presumption, carrying guns or whatever the hell, and they think that just because you stand up to them verbally and keep arguing with them, and you fracture their ego, and then they pull a gun, right? And maybe you could be like, oh fuck you, what are you gonna do? Shoot me for talking back to you or disagreeing with you when you started it or whatever? And they'll do it. Some of them will damn do it just because you fractured their ego. They ain't used to anybody not backing down from them or whatever the hell. And if they get caught, the court finds them guilty, they'll go to jail or whatever, but you'll be dead. But people will use that shit too. They think that any state that has stand your ground entitles them to be able to antagonize somebody, and there's a lot of people that carry guns legally that know better than that, but there are ignorant assholes out there. They don't even read the laws or whatever or look into it. They walk around and they'll argue with somebody, and well, they'll hang with a bunch of people too there are people both black or white that do this shit, you know. The black stereotype will do that, and a particular redneck stereotype. Some rednecks are easier going than others, and then hey, there's redneck on redneck ways of codes of, oh, you fractured my ego, we'll shoot you. Oh yeah, blacks don't like oh, them rednecks, and then you'll get a certain redneck don't like blacks. But yeah, they have their stereotype. It could be black on black. They do that shit to each other all the time, and yeah, a certain redneck somewhere will do that shit. They don't see it. They don't categorize it as stand your ground. All it is to them is something they fucking say here they can use, that they heard about. But both, whether black or redneck or say a white or whatever, somebody that looks like me, I don't know, they don't care about stand your ground. All they see is a code, whatever color you are, a gangster or badass like code that's ingrained in them, that oh, nobody stands up to me, I can say whatever the hell I want, maybe in a bar with a couple beers in me, or say I had a few before I went out to fucking Walmart or Walmart parking lot or some damn where. They consider this stand your ground thing as a justification for their Mr. Badass nature. How dare you talk back to me when I go and antagonize or whatever, and stand your ground. I think that people who created didn't really mean it for that way. But people be doing that shit, so Maybe in a state like that, maybe that's just me. Maybe just walk away and say I ain't going there with you, because maybe, just maybe, you got some asshole out there looking to go off on somebody and pull their little gun on you, you know what I mean? I believe in the right to bear arms, don't get me wrong, but say I was armed and maybe, just maybe, that guy's ready to go for his weapon, and maybe I'd be dead before I even get mine out, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that I think a lot of people that, you know, right to bear arms, that just got themselves a gun and they were only going to the range about a few days or a week, thinking they can stand up to somebody, right? And they fall for that, and somebody gets their weapon pulled out first and they get killed, you know what I mean, too. So again, if you're legally armed, somebody's antagonizing you, maybe they might be a little bit better than you. You may be able to draw that weapon better than you or whatever. Don't push it, don't antagonize them. You know, that's what they want. You know, that's just me.